This podcast contains descriptions of extreme violence, body horror, and adult language. Please check the description for details. Viewer discretion is advised. Two of those weird, fucked up spewers spawn as well. Out of the from the various flesh pillars that you saw when you walked into this place that are surrounding the throne room, you see crawling out from them significantly less mycelium on them, but still similarly these horrible crawling mounds ready to attack, and there is one here and one here, and that is everything. So I believe that means that we are ready to go. Before we do, you guys were talking a lot with the enemy and with your allies, so could you all please make just the one check for the enemy? I'm not going to give you one for each of the people that talked, because I don't think that makes sense. God, Iris. So anyone who got 6 or higher, please clear a bloodthirst.
Oh, blessing.
I will also allow each of you to make a conversation check with one of your two allies.
Vex. I'll choose Hyde in this case, because it makes sense of Asura listening to what he was saying.
Right, okay, with that, we are ready to go. So, yes, everybody, Azul says, let's, then whatever happens is up to fate, and you see them suddenly take a posture, a stance, which is extremely, like, it looks like they are ready to just fucking schmoove, basically. Godman is already moving, and Nisa seems to have their own thing going on as well. As you watch, they put their arms out, almost like spreading them like wings, as they begin to divide and split into another set of arms, each with half the amount of bells, like, tied on either side. So one arm on one side has all the bells and one arm on the other, but like the bottom one instead has all the bells. Yeah, no, they seem to be doing some freaky shit. And we will start with Vex.
As though nothing else had happened, Vex is simply going to charge towards the enemies.
Okay. Right, so next up is Nisa and Godman. Godman with more speed than you had seen prior. You see their legs suddenly bulge and these veins, like, pulse anew across their quads and their calves, and you can see that they are, like, slightly more animalistic now. As they are going to use... Yeah, they are going to use their new rapid movement check, which is going to be just towards you, Hyde. And they are going to spend the 2 for that, and it's a rapid maneuver, which means that they can immediately make an attack. Oh no, wait a minute. I know what they're going to do. They're going to use their previous thing that they had, which was charge, to turn that into a 3 cost, to make an attack directly at the end of it. This is going to be a d10 plus 1 against you, Hyde. That is going to be torso, I believe. This is a melee attack 3.
I see. What I'll do is I'll defend too with my cyborg.
Okie doke. So you will take 1 damage, correct?
Yep, I will take the 1 damage. I'm gonna just take it to my entrails. Gonna suck, but
okay.
That's okay.
Godman bounds forward with a single powerful leap and slams his claws into your gut, and like with his middle finger almost drags it across your stomach, leaning his strange skeleton equine face towards yours and going, "Let's get this started quickly, shall we?" And he is going to go for another attack, because those were both rapid maneuvers. That is just going to be a 2-cost claw attack to follow up.
Alrighty.
Oh boy, that is a crit!
That's not good. I forget. Can you hinder to try and, like, deconfirm crits? Is that a thing in this?
You can, yes.
So, I'm just gonna use, foot basic hinder 1. Lower that down by 1.
Yeah, so unfortunately Azul cannot actually use any of their support abilities for Godman, because Godman has been Godman and decided to go all in straight away.
Yeah.
Yes, that is just going to turn that into a headshot.
How much damage would that... It's his claw, right?
2 damage.
Honestly, right? I think it would be kind of cool if I just take the shot to the head, right, as Godman goes in for the scratch on his stomach, and then he very quickly then, like, pulls up and claws directly, gets Hyde right in the jaw, and his limiter.
Yes. Okay, so yeah, I think the way this shakes out, Godman kind of tears into your stomach, and he immediately goes with his other claw for this lightning fast strike into your eyes, and you could tell this would have been a lot worse were it not for Asura just doing, well, how would Asura just give a quick, like, bit of help with a kick of some kind?
Yeah. The way I imagine, right, and this fits with, kind of what's going on with her, right? As Godman dashes in, a wild look crawls across Ashura's face, only to shift from wild excitement to wild anger as Godman dashes directly past her and right up to Hyde. She turns around with a heavy stomp, like a bag of steel clattering against the ground. And with that stomp, using that leg as a pivot, just goes for a kick in the back of Godman's leg as he goes for the swipe in against Hyde.
Right. Nisa would, you do so, and the hit is slightly off course, but it's still nasty. However, he has hit you in the face, but you look down at him with rage as you see him lick his non-existent jowls with this horrible fleshy tongue, as you see that he wanted that. You can tell, even with the crit, he would have been going for your face. He wants you to be mad. And, Nisa technically would have acted at the same time, so before you go Hyde, Nisa will be going. Pretty simple for them. They are simply going to spend 3 to move. Hyde, with the limiter broken, it is your initiative.
Yeah. There is a solid moment where he gets hit in the jaw, cut across his face. And he pulls his hand from his pocket, his hand clenched furiously tight as his head is still laid, like, reeled back, before he sets that hand on Godman. I want to use my, or can I use my Feast of Flesh to just repair my jaw? Just like 1 AP, do that?
What's the text of Feast of Flesh?
Action, 1 cost. Regenerate a basic part of yours that was damaged.
Yes, you can absolutely do that then. That is, I imagine, very much, considering that only one person's flesh has been torn, I imagine that just manifests as, like, you essentially grabbing the entrails that have fallen out and just your snakes chomping back down on them.
Yeah, he's fixing his jaw, right? He brings his other hand up to his jaw, and there's a as he fucking fixes it back in place. And he goes, Play along, Godman. And he's going to walk away from Godman. Leave him to Asura. I'm going into Hades. We're gonna use the meat snakes, and we're gonna go for the butters, the flies.
Right, okay. In which case, make your attack.
This is aimed for the butterfly.
Oh,
there you go.
damn!
Well, nice.
Hell yeah.
I mean, if I upped it by 1, right, then it would be something along the lines of, like, I could kill it in 1 turn, I think.
You could.
Yeah, I'll spend the 1 cost, I'll support 1 on, that, so that, the first attack does 4 damage, and then we'll go for the next one, and then we'll go for the third. Beautiful. And we'll re-roll it.
Oh, you get the reroll.
You get the reroll.
Alright, just had to make sure. And you know what, actually, right? I'll spend a bloodthirst on my
Another reroll?
Yeah, for 1 more. I'll put it on Iron Asura as, Hyde, like, determined to be like, alright, Asura can handle Godman, and Vex is going to do her thing in a moment here. We gotta get rid of these butterflies. So, bing bong. Well.
No, so that is just 7 damage total, so 3 are left. The red snakes burst forth once more from your stomach wound, and rather than going to Godman, they snake outwards into the air and snap at the absolute deluge of fanged butterflies in the air, and they are... Unfortunately, they are slippery, and so it is difficult to get hold of all of them, but you have significantly thinned their numbers. Next up, it's the one and only Azul.
Yes, my boy Azul, go into Hades. Nothing bad will happen to you.
Very much doubt it.
Yeah, I think they will. So, Azul actually moves up alongside Nisa.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
That's actually more scary.
And says, we are one. And gives a reassuring hand on the shoulder of Nisa, who looks up at them and seems emboldened. Right, that is Vex and all of the fucking butterflies. I don't know why this guy's here. All of the butterflies. So first off, right, so, yeah, what's gonna happen is the orange ones are gonna move in here. Quick reminder, no matter how many legions are in one area, they all count as a single target for attacking and receiving attacks. The ones in Eden move down. You see them swarming down from the various grow basins that line this greenhouse-like tower. They all start to close in. And the green ones also move here. But, yes. All units in the same area as the butterflies... Oh, sorry, all enemies in the same area the butterflies take 1 damage, so that is Hyde and Asura and Vex. All please assign a damage to yourselves. It cannot be defended against, as a reminder.
Yep. The first damage I've taken this entire time.
I'll put it in one of my leg bones.
Let's see. Yeah, where
Oh,
the hell
dude,
do I...
Iron Asura's dead.
Yeah.
That was it.
Right. Vex, what are you doing? As a reminder as well, the movement has not technically happened yet, so you would only be attacking the red pip butterflies.
Yep. Well, she is just charging forward, heedless of when Nisa steps in the way and when Azul then just steps forward next to her. She simply is dragging her scythe blades along the ground, creating some sparks before she just rises into the air with a particularly powerful step and just begins flashing steel in all directions towards the two of them, the horror, and the butterflies as well.
Okay.
I'll make the initial, damage against just the butterfly swarm that was here.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, come on. I'm gonna re-roll that.
Okay.
Honestly.
You get a +1 to it because you're re-rolling.
Yeah, we just cleared one. I get the +1. So now it's a +2. Come on.
Oh my god.
Oh, damn.
Oh no. No, that is, it's fortunately not a crit fail, but you do not succeed in hitting the butterflies, unfortunately. Make You attempt. This is the area attack, right?
Well, it's after I deal damage, I can then turn it into an area attack, so that...
Oh, so that doesn't... Yeah, that whiffs.
That is just my only attack. That's all I can do.
Oh, dear. Vex, you try to go for an easy chain attack. You leap into the butterflies. But something about them here, they seem to move more deftly. I don't want this to just be nothing for you, so I will grant you a piece of information. You can sense that the butterflies being in the presence of Azul, they are moving as if they are one with Azul's will. You suspect that there is some fuckery that Azul is going to be capable of by virtue of that. Okay. So that is Asura, Nisa, and the two shooty boys. But I think we know what matters here at the moment. Asura, you're in a space of someone who is...
You're
actually
in melee range.
Yeah.
You're in melee range of someone who actually has a bearing on the fight.
Yep. Though I suppose, so are we simply having me go first, or are enemies going first?
Technically I need to tell you what these guys would be doing on their turn.
It's all going off at the same time, yeah.
Yeah, so the orange marked shooty boy is going to be shooting at you, and Nisa is seemingly rearing up to attack you as well. They seem to have a slightly ranged attack that they can use.
Well, they can go to attack me all they fucking want. As Asura, now facing Godman, presumably who is turned away from her initially.
He has his eyes on Hyde.
Oh, come on. Haven't you already had enough time to play with Hyde? I'd think that playing with the same toy for so long would get boring after a while. But what do I know? You're exposed, Godman. You don't have a stopgap to hide behind anymore. As she expels out a bout of hissing steam in the gaps between her shoulder and her torso, and the giant metallic arms that are now whirring with clanking sounds of metal, along with hissing and burning. She yet again stomps on the ground. A god, huh? We'll see about that. As she, a madness in her eyes, just in an instant goes for an all-out assault. One moment, she's standing there. In an instant, 3 of her arms reeled back, and before you can even blink, immediately directly piercing into 3 separate sections of Godman's back. One aimed sort of near the center of his spine, one near his waist, and another wherever the hell it goes. And she is going to be going for Meat Snake, and I'm specifically going to be using, which one is it? Impulse, where once per round when I declare a maneuver, instead of paying the normal cost, I can put Madness into a fetter of my choice, or rather Bloodthirst into a fetter of my choice. So, for no reason at all, I'm going to be choosing to put that one into Hyde's. Instead of paying my normal cost for Meat Snake, let's just go ahead and, get that one Bloodthirst. And so now there's Meat Snake. Yeah. Whee!
That is barely a hit. Now, unfortunately, I do have something to say about this.
Alright.
So, the first thing that happens, and I imagine we're going to get into a bit of a tug of war here, because this is a big fucking attack. So, first and foremost, you see Nisa, who was rearing up for an attack. You see that from one of her arms, a sinuous strand of flesh turns into this massive, powerful whip. Before she, rather than attacking, suddenly coats it in this slick and filthy blood, and then swings it in such a way that it is directed for your eyes. That is a hinder 1 maneuver.
You can support 1 to counter that.
Yeah, well, specifically, in fact. As she goes to fire this bolt at Ashura's eyes, from her head, literally as if diving to intercept the shot. The heat that's been building in her arms suddenly shifts to her head as a little, like, hexagonal, like chip sort of near her temple just bursts out, collides with the bullet in midair to intercept it as steam begins hissing out of Asura's head. And I'm using a fucking bolt head overclock for support 2 on myself.
So that's put it up to a 7. So, in response, we have got Azul, their body in anticipation. You see them with much more urgency than anything else you've seen from them so far. Brings their arm up, and to their command, the butterflies flock towards you in an instant. That is a hinder 2.
All right, so it's down to 5.
Yes, it is down to 5, and that costs nothing for Azul.
Alright, well, I still got 4 arm, so let's bump that back up to 6.
That is gonna be Godman's... Godman's gonna try and kick that, and put that back down by 1. We're back down to 5.
And now, I'm gonna spend... Here's the thing, I'm gonna spend 1, or my extra eyes, to support 2 on that, so now it's a 7 again.
The fucking tennis, dude. Right. Do I have anything else here?
The angels are really trying to protect their savior this time.
I think that's it. That first attack lands. How much damage is that?
As she just slams into him, go to hell! So it's unarmed attack 2, so it's 2 at base, right?
Yep.
Of course, it's 2 at base. But then, I have 2 separate +1s to my unarmed attack damage, that's 4. And then additionally, at rapid timing, I can use my fucking spikes for 1 to add +2 damage to the unarmed attack. So it's 6.
So that's 6 damage to the legs, if I'm not mistaken. Is that correct?
Yeah.
You exactly rid him of all of the parts in his lower body. You have a follow-up attack to make.
Yeah, that was the first attack. This is Meat Snake, so it's chain attack 2.
All right.
So, you know, here comes number 1. Oh, that's the 7. Awesome. So that's another 4. I could spend more for spike. Oh, I can't use spikes again, right? So.
You cannot. No.
Okay.
It is. Even if it's a rapid timing maneuver, it can only be used once per round.
Understood. Well, then in that case, yeah, it's just another 4 damage.
Right, Asura, you have not blown apart all of the parts on his torso. His tail and spine are intact, but you literally blow his organs out behind him. Make your final attack.
Yeah, because this is chain attack 2, so I'll get my reroll.
Oh, you get your reroll.
Oops. Oh well.
Oh well.
I could madness that. Honestly.
You could madness that.
You know, I want to fuck him. I want to fuck this guy. And you know what? We got that additional 2 madness from the conversation checks that I wasn't accounting for initially. Yeah, I'll do it. No, okay.
Nah, it was not fated to be.
Fine.
You blow him backwards. But throughout all of this was in the counterplay, there is that fucking rapid fire set of events, the butterflies, the blood heading towards your eyes that you blow out of the way with the steam that activates from your overclock, and you burst through the crowd, the swarm of butterflies. And do you want to describe that attack you just made?
Yeah. As all of this happens, and from her own instinctual reactions and Hyde's assistance, goes initially aiming for sort of his back area, but with all of this interference instead, no, let's cut that out. As she then redirects all 3 of her arms on her left side down to just tear into the bases of both legs, along with just ripping and tearing into them with the additional arm as much as she can with that initial strike. And just with one blow, like hitting a baseball with a home run, just sends the legs flying as Godman was already trying to turn around to intercept as much as he could. And as he does, his body sort of twists to now face her, giving her the perfect opportunity to, as she reels back again, this time with all 6 arms, just goes for a massive punch rush pile bunker maneuver on this guy, slamming into his stomach as many times as possible as ripples are sent through his body, building like a cartoonish bulge on his back before eventually bursts of blood and sinew and whatever else is in that goddamn body of his just explodes out a second after the punch rush is concluded.
And Godman flies through the air. You hear him. You hear I wouldn't say scream so much as it is a animalistic like retch as he flies through the air, hits the ground. But his claws dig into the tile below him as he slides backwards, keeping him from going any further, as he pushes himself up using his remaining limbs, and looks to you and goes, and it seems that he has he seems like he's maybe lost it a little bit, as his eye meets yours, and there is this wild animal-like fury inside of him, which, you know, was always there but now feels heightened.
Yeah, can't really blame a guy for losing a bit of himself after his legs were literally fucking sent to the moon. Like, you know, I think that's a little, like, all things considered, that's one of the most reasonable reactions Godman has had, so, like...
Yes. Right. And yet, simultaneously, at that exact moment, you feel this other rush of blood slam through the air as the horrible flesh-like pillar creature spits at you. Let me make that attack. Cha-cha-cha-cha-cha. Do they have... Yes, they have +1 to this natively.
Ah!
Right, that is legs.
Legs, alright.
And that is explosive, so that will do that will do 1 damage to your legs and 1 damage to your torso.
Gotcha. In that case, I'm just gonna use Cyborg Defend 2 and just stop that.
Okay. Absolutely, spend the points for that. And
Cyborg is 0.
That's right, because it's a once per round unless you're Hyde. Yep. So that is just the 2 for that shooting attack, and the other one is also doing that. So, but that's going to be against you, Vex. The other one, by virtue of its +1, it does not crit fail, Vex, but you have seen these things fight before. You've seen the way that these things spit blood at you. You can anticipate it simply by virtue of watching when that bubbling inside of it finally kind of ceases. There's this moment of tension behind them, and you are simply out of the trajectory before it even fires. Next up is Azul, Nisa, and Vex. So Azul is intending to attack you, Vex, and Nisa is also going to... I think Nisa's going to attack Asura. They have absolutely seen the danger here. And I think Azul, even at this point, actually goes to all of you. Do not make the mistake of believing that we are not aware of your reputation. We will not treat this combat lightly. And Nisa reels up, as does Azul. What are you doing, Vex?
I'm gonna try to attack again. Just the butterflies in front of me.
Okay.
There we go.
Hell yeah.
Lovely. Yes, that lands. So how much damage is that to the butterflies?
Oh, it'll only be 1 damage, except that I'm, just gonna make it into an area attack that hits everything in this area, deals double damage to all the butterflies. Woohoo!
The area attack means you get to roll against everything else here as well. Make those rolls. What do you want to start with?
I don't think it's that I roll against all of them again, is it? It just...
But I don't know what ruling
I'm
is
silly.
correct.
If this attack hits the target, then all entities in the same area of the target are hit and affected with the same check result, damage, and effects.
Oh.
Yeah, so that is treated as a 9 for everything here. So
That's pretty damn good.
So that's Nisa, Azul, and the fucked up weird thing. So that's 2 damage to... No, 2 damage to the horror. That is, and then that is 1 damage to the torso, no, the arms of Azul and Nisa. Yeah, okay, you land that, and that is 1 damage to all of them, and you have a second attack with that, don't you?
Yep, she is gonna do the chain attack follow-up on Nisa.
Okie doke.
Ooh, hell yeah, barely.
Because you are targeting Nisa, she has a self-targeting hinder ability. She can spend 1 to hinder 1. But only if an attack hits her. So she does that.
I will support 1 on myself.
Okay, absolutely. We smoke if you got him. Yeah, and that lands. That means Nisa does get to choose where the damage goes, though, which will be her torso. But that means that everybody takes damage.
Yep. And then I have one more thing to do.
Yes?
Seeing how Nisa fights and wanting to get this guy's bodyguard out of the way as quick as possible, Vex slashes into Nisa as part of this huge just typhoon of attacks going on. She cuts into Nisa's torso, and then, anticipating a retaliation, Vex ducks down, and kind of like flips around as she's doing it, drawing her bear gun. I'm gonna use unlimited destruction to once per count just fire the bear gun at Nisa as well.
Okay.
Oh, that's a 1 though. Okay.
Oh. You will need to re-roll that if you don't want to hit.
Yep, I'll re-roll it.
Yeah. 1s are bad in this game.
Alright, it's at least not hitting an ally.
Okay. Yeah, you bring up the gun, and it's just in time that you realize that Nisa is already, like, essentially swinging the whip towards it in order to, like, spin the gun around in a way that would be extremely bad. But you manage to avoid the strike, and but it does put you off center on aim. Azul, simultaneously to all of this, is going to use their stinger. Suddenly, from underneath the swarm of butterflies that are obscuring their head, you see this proboscis-like stinger suddenly unfurl and whip out from their head, and it is coming towards you, Vex. Let me make that attack. That is an 8. That will be hitting your body if you do nothing about it.
Alright, this is hitting my body. I'll take 1 to the entrails, yeah.
That is 3 damage.
Oh, 3 damage.
Yes. You initially misjudge it. It doesn't look like that serious of a stinger. It's quite slender, right? But as it snakes towards you, you realize it would not be, it would not have nothing going on. And sure enough, you just get this instinctual gut reaction of just like, there's a venom in there that I cannot let touch me.
I think in that case, she is going to... I'm going to use my regeneration to defend 1. So I'll only take 2.
Okay, yeah, no, it slams into your guts, and you feel this horrible caustic venom pulse into you. Although it does get counteracted almost immediately by your body kicking in its regeneration. Azul, with a whip of their head, dislodges the stinger from you, and it curls back into the obscuring mist of butterflies. Oh boy, we got a big turn here. Next up is Hyde, Nisa, the horrors, and the butterflies. So first of all, could everybody in a butterfly zone please just take a damage?
Oh, man.
Yeah, just other entrails, I suppose.
Right. Other than that, the 2 ranged boyos are just simply going to make attacks again. One of them is going to keep aiming at Asura, the other one is going to keep aiming at Vex. Nisa is actually going to go for an attack this time. She keeps getting sidetracked, and she is going to aim for, I think it's going to be Asura. I just think straight up, they know what the threat is right now. Hyde, what are you doing?
Yeah, so I'm gonna go for my meat snakes.
Okay.
This first attack is going to be aimed at the purple butterflies. I know that they're all technically one entity, but hopefully this just reduces their action economy, ? I'm at least going to start off with putting, 3 damage into them.
Yeah, that absolutely hits. So that is going to be 3 damage, which is going to just get rid of the purple group.
And then I'm gonna start going for Godman, and I'm hoping for like a 9 here, so I can take out his arms.
Okay.
Close.
It's an 8.
This time, I'm going to have Azul use their butterflies, the corpse mushroom part, on the only one in range. That is a hinder 2 for 0 cost, but it is now used for the turn. So that puts it down to a 6, which is still a hit, but Godman does get to choose where it goes now. Do you want to do anything about it or no?
No.
Okie doke.
I don't think I can anyways.
So, next up, I think he's going to damage. That's 3 damage, right?
Yep, 3.
I think he's going to take it to the torso. So he gets rid of his spine, his tail, and yeah, he doesn't need the fist thing. He's got claws. The snakes emerge. They they snap out some butterflies from the air, and then they start just disassembling the last dregs of the torso of the lower body that are remaining on Godman. You have another attack.
Yep, I do have one more. It's another 8.
Rolling 8s, brother.
Right. Well, that's gonna hit the arms. So that's 3 damage to the arms. Yep, that just gets taken. And they continue to simply disassemble Godman. He still has his claws intact, but they are tearing pieces of flesh off him as he just laughs maniacally as this happens, interspersed with animal-like yelps and screams.
Stay down, Godman.
He kind of looks over to you, his eyes flashing, and he just goes, it doesn't matter if you eat every single inch of me. I can't die. I'm a fucking god. That's you. Simultaneously, Nisa's going for the attack on Asura.
Yeah.
Let's make that attack. That is a regular success that they are going to boost up to a leg hit using their arms because they were out of range before, but they are in range of themselves.
Okay. How much damage to the legs?
That is 2 damage to your legs.
As much as it sucks, I'm gonna take this hit to the legs, just because I have a feeling I already know I'm going to be hit more. I want to save my remaining defend for something that's a bit more pressing, so I'm gonna take the leg hit.
Cool. Speaking of being hit more, this is a chain attack, but only chain attack 1.
Okay. Oh, come on, man!
Oh my god. Right, well, you get to pick where this one goes. This is Nisa doing it. Basically what's happening, she has these massive flesh whips coming off of her arms. She goes in for one strike and goes for a follow-up immediately afterwards, doing like the fucking Ivy, figure 8 whipping motion with it, basically.
Well, here's the thing. I can hinder 1.
You can. You are in range to do that.
I would greatly appreciate that.
Okay. Right, that indeed misses. However, she is going to use her extra arms to do that chain attack again as a rapid maneuver.
Okay.
Now you're on your own.
Yeah. Oh,
yes.
Yes. Azul is going to... Hold on, that's a fair point. Let me check if Azul... Okay, good. Yeah, I got rid of their fist, not their arm. Azul will support that using 1 action point to make it not hit an ally. That does mean, however, that with that failure, she does not get to attempt to make that second chain attack. You see her reel up, spawning another flesh whip from one of her other 4 arms to go in for another attack. And you see it start to snake in such a way that she basically reeled back too far, seemingly slightly inexperienced with direct combat. And the trajectory would have absolutely struck Azul, who very coolly just shifts themselves to the side so it doesn't, but it completely misses you. Right, the shooty boys. Guess what, Vex? We got a shooty coming at you.
Alright. Ooh, no.
They have a native +1, so it doesn't miss. And then the other one...
I think you said they were firing at me,
I did, yes. Sorry, Asura, but I gotta stick to it.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So that's hitting the feet again.
That hits. 6 means it hits wherever you want.
Oh, how much is this dealing?
So it deals 1 damage, but it's explosive damage, so it will deal 1 damage to an adjacent location.
All right. I think pretty easy.
You could do fist and spine or something. Yeah.
Yeah. No. Specifically, I'm gonna have it hit the arms, right? Because I have gauntlets, which automatically grant me defend 1 for my arms only.
Ah, there you go.
So if I defend the 1 damage on the arms, does the explosive still go off?
No. That is one of the things with keywords. If you can negate the damage, the keyword does not take effect, I do not believe.
Hell yeah, brother.
I will double check that for you. Explosive.
I'm pretty sure it would negate it, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, because it specifically says... so technically... So this is a very weird technicality here, right? You technically do take damage still to an adjacent location, but because you take, quote, the same amount of damage,
I take 0
which is
damage.
0, you take 0 to 2 locations.
Yeah.
You basically hold up your arm, the thing explodes, and the smoke clears off of you and you're fine. You know?
Yeah, literally that. That's the flavor for it. And in case you thought, and if that wasn't fucked up enough, Iris, right? That is the same, enhancement that I have that grants me another one of my 2 +1 to damages. That enhancement gives me the armor and the attack. Yeah.
That's so nuts. It's crazy.
Right. So yeah, the boiling hot clot of blood slams into your arms, but they're cybernetic. It just does not bother you. Next up is Godman. Right, let me look at Godman's fucking options here. He straight up does not even have his shoulder to move with. He is stuck where he is. Oh my god, he's in such a state, I am literally just gonna roll a dice to see who he attacks between the 2 of you.
Got it.
Hyde is Asura. It's Hyde. He turns around and he goes to attack you. Right.
Alright.
Godman turns towards you, lashing out wildly, and still somehow keeping in his head that he fucking wants to piss you off, and he leaps towards your head with a fucking bloodthirst behind him. That's 2 damage if he hits you.
Do we think it's worth using my defend here, or should I save it again? Because this won't kill me, but it will be bad.
Head stuff is especially lethal. I think it's fine to use it.
Yeah, I'm gonna use my cyborg and block it as the snake comes up, and
I assume you're doing the trick to use it a second time, right?
Yes, I am using specifically Delight and Corruption to use a rapid check or damage maneuver that I've already used once again.
Right, yeah. You reduce the damage by 2 in that case. Once again, the super hard crimson crystalline scales manifest across your face from the wound that has already been struck on them, and the claws, in a shockingly identical manner, scrape across your face, showering nearby tile with red confetti. Right, Asura and the Shooty Boys.
What are the Shooty Boys doing?
Shooty Boys are shooting. They're gonna shoot Vex, and they're gonna shoot Asura.
I think, as funny as it would be to just leave Godman here, considering how, turn count is going, I want to see if I can get one of his damage options out of the way. So, if we're gonna do that, we're certain he's not gonna be an issue, Unless anyone thinks that's a pointless endeavor.
I mean, I think it's perfectly fine to leave him without damage options before leaving him.
Yeah, no, I'm fine to leave him and have him go no, fight me, but I want to make sure he isn't gonna fuck us over first. Especially since we know these guys can heal people. Yeah. Since I've already used Meat Snake, I could use my rapid timing thing to use it again if I understand what we were saying correctly.
That is correct, yes.
You know what, actually? I know I said that, but considering what we've got with Godman, there's part of me that's tempted to instead go for the fucking shot, because it's explosive, and the stagger would put his initiative below Hyde, which means that Hyde could potentially do something.
That would actually be pretty cool.
You know what? Yeah, let's fucking do it, just because, theoretically...
And also...
Yeah?
Just the flavor of it is like he leaps at Hyde. Hyde's snakes are like stop him and like momentarily hold him up in the air, and then you just blast him out of the sky.
Literally that as fucking Godman is like thoroughly lunging himself towards Hyde and is staved off in the process. Asura takes her arms and forms them into the same cupped position that she has been for all of this adventure up until this point, presses them directly up against what remains of Godman's body. Did I say you could go anywhere? And yeah, we're gonna go for fucking plasma shot, and just give it a whole ass roll. No, all right. Well, I guess I need to re-roll that.
You do very much. Well, you need to do that.
Yep.
That is a flat hit.
He chooses where it goes.
He chooses where it goes. How much damage is that?
This is unarmed attack 1, so it's 3, and it's explosive and staggered.
Right. Incredible. Okay, so Asura and Hyde, could you make me a roll, please?
Yeah, sure.
Hyde, do you still have your eyes intact? If you do, give yourself your eye bonus.
I do actually have my eyes intact, and my extra eyes too.
Pretty much what you guys were saying happens. He jumps towards you, Hyde. He strikes at your face with to no avail, and your meat snakes come out to basically like hold him off and fend him back. And you're basically like suspending him in the air as he is rapidly trying to scrape at you. And you see him just screaming indiscriminately about how he can never die. As all of a sudden you hear the whirring of plasma heating up behind him, and you just watch as you simply see a bright light flash, the scattering of flesh, and a creeping, burning plasma that crawls across his skull as you watch his eyes liquefy and pour out of his skull, and his screaming turns into gurgling as his lungs liquefy. You drop him to the floor, and the both of you realize he's done. He's completely gone. There is no way he could do anything. There's no flesh left. And yet, you see the slightest micro movements, and you know he's just a brain in a skull.
What's God to the Asura?
So.
Yep, so now we're gonna be shot.
That is a 7, that's gonna be your legs. That is 1 explosive damage.
I cannot do anything to stop that, so that's gonna be my spine and one of my bones.
Right, and then here's the next one coming at Asura.
Nope.
Nothing. It's Azul, Godman, Hyde, and the butterflies. The butterflies are gonna do what they do best. So technically you don't have to apply the damage yet because we need to do the rest of the actions. However, Azul, well, Godman is simply going to exist in his skull. That is all that is going to happen. Azul is actually just going to attack you, Vex. You see Azul kind of looks to you, and just goes, "We assure you, we will make this as quick as we can." Vex, remind me, have you been successfully targeted by one of the other people here, specifically Nisa?
No, I'm pretty sure I've taken all my damage from him and butterflies.
Right. And the horrors, right?
Oh, yeah, and a horror at one point, yes.
Right, but you were not taking damage specifically from Nisa. Right.
No.
Yep, in which case that you are actually safe from a special ability of theirs in that case. Yep, they are going to get a +1 to this, however, because of one of their other parts. So they are targeting you with the stinger once more.
Woo!
No, they're fucking not. Get out of here.
They are going to support 2 with their extra eyes and turn that into a 6.
Alright.
3 damage to wherever you like.
I have no choice but to take it. Let's do forearm, shoulder, and gun.
Oh dear.
I don't. There's no better option.
Right, I think the way that we flavor that is you bring up your gun to do a desperate attempt to block the stinger, but it simply punctures straight through it, and even though it's not a particularly wide, hole in your gun, it is nonetheless something that you do not want to fire after that, especially considering the caliber of that thing. And it punctures straight through it into your shoulder as you feel the corrosive venom once again work its way through your veins.
Gah!
You have a defend maneuver, if you would like to use it.
No, I'm at 0, remember?
You're at 0, never mind.
I would have, trust me, otherwise.
Alright, in which case, the butterflies will do their final application of damage to everybody who it is appropriate to. Everybody who is in a zone of a butterfly, which is all of you, please take 1 damage.
Oh, guys.
It is the shooty boys. They still have their shit going on. I think Azul actually kind of gestures towards Nisa wordlessly and just points towards Hyde. As Nisa, who is seemingly in command of these flesh beings, just swings one of her arms and has them both redirect their efforts towards Hyde.
That's not good, but okay.
That is a 6 and a nothing. 1 damage explosive.
We'll send that to my arms so that it gets my shoulder, and then it'll get my, should I give up spine or jaw?
I'd say spine.
It is Hyde and Asura. You barely have an action left. Anything more than 1 is going to put you in debt of your max action point cost for the beginning of the next round.
Here's what I'm thinking, right? And, if you have a better idea, Rosche, feel free to let me know. Vex is in bad shape, right? We need to fucking help her. I'm really good with dealing with the swarms with my fucking shot, right? So I'm thinking I'm gonna try and shoot the fucking butterflies just so that their passive damage stops. Because there are 2 clusters of them in there.
Maybe I can do a shit ton. Rid of the butterflies.
Yeah, we need to get rid of them. So I can, since I know that I'm good at handling them with my explosive shit, I can lead us off. If they're still there, you can put some focus into them. I'm more than willing to put myself into debt because we need to help protect Vex.
You do that. My plan, I think I just need to try and destroy as many parts of Azul and Nisa as humanly possible.
Gotcha. I'll at the very least start off, so if you want to change what you're doing afterwards, you can. But after, Godman falls to the ground, and with a few heaves of breath, Asura, still embroiled in the heat of battle, but in some way, some part of her is satisfied, at least to an extent, turns around to focus more on the broader fight, sees the state that Vex is in, aims forward, hands clasped, and we're just gonna go plasma shot on butterflies in Hades. Do I re-roll it?
I think you gotta. I think this.
Yeah,
this could
I probably do. Okay.
This is the tide turner. I think you need to do it.
Yep. Okay, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna re-roll it. No, it's worse.
No. Oh, that's really bad.
Oh,
fuck. That's really bad.
No,
Can you support at all? No.
I already used my forearm, I'm pretty sure, right? To support Hyde. I used overclock on myself. Yeah, no, it's just...
Well, no, you didn't support me. I supported myself.
Oh, you're right!
You barely have 1 thing left.
So, I don't know if I can spend it, since I'm already at -2, though it is rapid. I don't know.
No, it is... It's as part of the same thing. Yeah.
Yeah, it's rapid, which means it is happening simultaneously with the 1 count.
Just barely I can do it then, but that was close.
Right, I think the way I flavor that is you are so heated. Yeah, you've overclocked. You've done the full steam release to do your full attack, and you are just so in the zone that you swing around to do a second plasma blast, which was already adding to the insane amount of heat that you're generating, and you just simply don't recognize the HUD indicator that you have built into your vision that's telling you overheat imminent. And it is at the briefest of moments that your instinct takes over, and you want to fire, but your arms move quicker than you can think, and they simply detach and stop the the heating process for the plasma. And you know what's happened before when you've overheated. You basically nearly blew your arms off, and that was fucking bad. And you thank yourself that you're so used to these things that you can catch yourself like that. All right, Hyde, what are you doing?
Oh, I think I'm gonna meet snakes, and because I am in Hades, my Dweller in Hades is active, so I have a +1 on these checks.
You do.
Very first thing, we're gonna target the yellow horror.
That is a hit. How much damage is that? 3?
3.
Yep, no. You tear that one apart. It is gone. It is done.
All right.
It is done. It is swallowed like a delicious ham.
Next is Nisa. I care not. I reroll.
Fuck this game.
8. That's against. Is that against Nisa? You said?
Yep, Nisa.
Yeah. You take a massive chunk as one of your snakes just like essentially does a kidney shot and takes a massive bite of her love handle, basically.
Azul.
All right.
Rosche, your lizard luck kicks in at the best of times.
Yeah, certainly
All right.
does.
So that's 3 damage to the head. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. That is 3 damage to Azul. Yeah, you launch the last of your meat snake's attacks into the crowded swarm, which is their head, and they are simply... You feel that there probably would have been something that they could have done about it, but the way that the rhythm of battle goes, reaching the end of it, you just know that there's a moment where, like, everybody's kind of off guard and tired, and you take advantage of that moment, snap into the crowd of butterflies surrounding their head, and it makes contact with something meatier there. You don't care what it is, you simply bite down and draw it back into you. They reel backwards, and they just go... It has been some time since we have dealt with this.
Debilitating the opposition under standard procedure. And now, really quickly, right, as Azul is reeling from that, I think it's ill-advised, maybe, but I kind of want to go for my rapid check, assassin blade, so that Hyde, like, takes his hands out of his pockets and then just goes for 2 quick punches on him, like, immediately after.
If you're willing to go that much into debt, absolutely go for it.
Yeah, dude, I'll go for it. The worst that happens is I go down to 8 initiative, and they can't do anything right now. So, I mean, I may as well.
This is the opportune moment
advantage
to do this.
So,
yeah.
Should I go 1 more Nisa, 1 more Azul?
Yeah, probably.
So.
Okay. That is...
3 damage to the torso.
You watch as you go in for some of your smaller, like, snakes that tend to normally coil around and wait for the opportune moment to strike, and they see it. And one of them goes for this targeted assault, as you'll recall that I mentioned that Nisa had one of her eyes on her chest and one on her head. You watch as one of your crimson snakes digs into her chest exactly where her eye is, digs their teeth into it, and you having the sense to be able to know, like, you can sense what is behind the teeth, because you have nerves out there. It bites down, and in place of what you would expect to be the slightly spongy material of lungs, you instead crunch down on brain matter?
Oh.
You pull back, and sure enough, there is this mass of grey matter inside of your snake's teeth, who swallows it hungrily, and you see her recoil in a way where, like, it almost looks like she's suddenly had a jolt of electricity sent through her system. You've destroyed her extra head part.
Oh. I'm gonna re-roll that second attack that was a 2 and go for Azul.
Okay.
No, alright, that's cool.
Nada.
Party had to stop at some point.
As Hyde just goes in for those punches on Azul, but expertly they like swing out of the way and sway in the breeze.
The first round of combat comes to a close, as once again, all of you feel that it's that rhythm once again, that exhaustion setting in, the brief moment where there is a sudden, inexplicable lull in the violence, as you all just hear yourselves breathing heavily, just... And I'm going to ask, because obviously this is not like a simple situation. Do you choose to continue combat?
Yep.
I feel like Asura would.
I mean, Hyde is at least checking to make sure the other two, like those two, like how Asura and Vex are feeling about it, and then looks to Azul in this. So, like, are we gonna keep doing this?
They seem to be ready and raring to go in just that brief moment. And, yeah, you all ready yourselves anew. Refresh your initiative with any of the penalties applied.
Hyde returns his hands to his pockets, and through the rage, his gritted teeth, he goes, "Just get down and don't move again."
Hey gang, welcome to the break. This is most certainly our longest episode to date, so I'll try and keep this brief, but there is one or two things I just want to talk about just because it's fun. First of all, let me just clear up any confusion that might be happening in this combat, because there is, once again, one or two places where we kind of reflavored one or two of the parts that our wonderful players were using, and some of my NPCs for that matter as well. At some points, I believe I refer to a part on Azul that is called Corpse Mushroom. Don't get that twisted. There is nothing to do with mushrooms with Azul. It's just I have flavored the part Corpse Mushroom as the butterflies intercepting stuff, which is why that has been going on. But I do indeed say Corpse Mushroom a couple of times. Similarly, the punch rush that the Iron Asura uses is technically also the meat snakes part. It's just, you know, her arms being able to punch super hard. And similarly with the Iron Asura, spikes are brought up, and that is flavored during the combat as well as overclocking. Other than that, let's get back to our normal shilling, why don't we? So, if you've been enjoying Heart of Hope and you want to see an episode ahead of time, then you can do so right now by going over to my Patreon at patreon.com/eternal_savvy and supporting me for as little as $1 a month. You can support me for any amount that you like if you want to be super awesome and cool and just send me more money. But even that $1 will indeed do you for seeing the extra content. So you'll be able to see episode 20 right now if you're listening to this on the public release. And if you're listening to it on Patreon, thank you for being here. And as a note as well, in regards to supporting me, I have a direct thing that this money will be going towards now, rather than just ambiently supporting me. I have been, as some of you may be noticing, I have been using royalty-free music pretty exclusively, with some exceptions. Thank you very much, Angra, once again, for your work that you've done for this show. But the main thing that I want to do is to start pulling away from just using royalty-free stuff and to start getting music that is commissioned for this game uniquely. And so if you support me, then any amount of money that is coming in every month, I am going to be putting as much of it as possible towards commissioning human artists and composers. And I've already got a short list of people who I am intending to commission. So if you want somewhere that your money will absolutely be going as a piece of knowledge for you when it comes to supporting me, then that's where it's going now. If you just want to follow what's going on with me, or you just want to see more content from me, then you can find me on twitch.tv/eternal_savvy, as well as Blue Sky at the same @. I'm pretty much eternal_savvy everywhere that you can find me, unless it's on my VOD channel, which is staying_savvy. Oh, and of course, this is a given at this point, but the fan art is on screen. Please pay attention to that if you are on YouTube. And speaking of YouTube, please like, comment, and subscribe in order to tell the algorithm that this is a good show that should be recommended to people. And if you're listening to this on RSS feeds, please go ahead and give it a rating if you can, or just whatever system they have in place. Go ahead and do that, because it also helps a lot. There are no new people to be crediting this time around for characters, so I think that is pretty much everything that I have to say today. Thank you so much for the wonderful support, everybody, and let's get back to the episode. Bye-bye! Okay, have you all added your point of bloodthirst somewhere?
I have.
Okay. Ooh, it's getting...
I will max out my dependent upon treasure better.
Okay, so fortunately that one does not have any negatives to maxing out. Has anyone maxed out something that isn't their treasure?
Not yet.
Not me.
So I'm pretty sure Godman's on 7, but like, let's be real, it doesn't matter. I'm just gonna put him on 0.
It doesn't matter what his initiative is.
Vex at the fucking absolute skyrocketing 12 value here. So, Vex, everybody looks to each other. The breathing stills a little. You all nod to one another in acknowledgement that you are continuing, you are finishing this fight. And all of you move once again in concert, but Vex, as usual, you are faster than anyone else on the field and you move with alacrity. What do you do?
Earlier, Asura was looking to Vex, seeing how brutally wounded she's been. She is covered in blood, and there are still butterflies around her, flying at her, making it worse all the time. But she's still standing. And it's not something she's widely known for. It's just something that's been mentioned or rumored that one day she could be known for it. But in everyone's minds, the words Vex, the unkillable, come to mind as she almost shakes back and forth a little bit, almost just like a dog who's come out of the water, blood flying around her, and her blades glisten as she screams, leaping through the air directly towards her enemies, that being everybody nearby. I'm going to make an attack against the butterflies.
Oh, come on!
I've been forgetting about this in the last few combats, but I just noticed a bit ago, my heart, Savvy, gives me 1 free reroll per count.
Ah, yes it does. We have been forgetting about that. Make that reroll.
There we go.
There we fucking go.
And
that is a hit.
I will, in fact, be making this an area attack.
As if a slumbering beast suddenly reawakens, you feel, in concert with your own instinct and desire, your heart gives a reassuring, slightly tighter squeeze in one of its beats, as you feel the adrenaline course through you a little stronger. And, yeah, carry on.
Well, that is going to be 1 damage to everybody, 2 to the butterflies.
In the head location too, so I suppose I will take my jaw gone.
I think Azul is going to use their defendability, which is no, do they want to use their defendability? They will just take the 1 to the head, I think. And Nisa takes a damage to the jaw. You slice, once again reminiscent, you remember Elizabeth the last time you did this, as you split Nisa's jaw in half.
Alright, chain attack, doing it again.
Doing it again. That is a hit. What is that targeting, by the way?
The butterflies, but, you know, it's an area attack again.
Yes, so that is an extra damage on all of them. You swing into all of them in a flurry of blades. Anything else before I move on? Any other rapid checks?
No, that's it. That's gonna be it.
Okay. In which case, everybody please take 1 damage from the butterflies.
I'll lose my eyes. F it.
I'm going jaw.
I'm losing my eyes too.
Okay, so Nisa, Asura, you've got some attacks incoming.
Alright, let's see him.
Oh no.
It doesn't matter, that's a 10! So, I think they're gonna use their support 1 to turn this into... because they do still have their forearm. They are going to use their support 1 to turn it into a crit, allowing them to pick where it goes.
Alright, well, I don't have anything I can do about that, so...
Oh, do you not have your forearm? Do you not have your foot anymore?
No. I don't.
No.
And even if I did, isn't that a... Oh, no, it is a 1 range, but, no, I lost it because, and, you know, it was one of her previous attacks got me there.
Yeah.
Which,
oh, shit, okay.
Which one is this specifically? Is this Nisa?
Yeah.
This is Nisa. Nisa is in the same zone as you, Vex.
Yeah. I'll hinder it then.
Alright, if you're sure.
In which case, Azul is going to use their 1 support to help Nisa's aim. They literally just, like, help to basically center the aim, and it is once again a crit. Is there anything else that can be done?
I want to ask, right? Can I ask where they would be putting this?
Legs.
Legs?
Yeah, which means that she will not be able to get to them.
I will
Unless
be
he
able
uses
to
shoulder.
move. Yeah, I could use shoulder because I still have that. It'll cost me more, right? This isn't the worst thing of all time for me. Because I have...
You do still have cyborg.
Yeah, I have cyborg, so, like, depending on how... Like, I can potentially... I can manage with this. We don't need to spend all our resources
I
on
think
this.
you should wait then, Rosche.
Yeah.
Alright, I'll hold off. I'm gonna hold off.
So 1 damage to the leg and then 2 to somewhere of your choosing.
Yeah, it's a matter for me of... Do I transfer that to the... Yeah, do I use cyborg to negate the overflow damage?
Cyborg costs 0, right?
Yep.
You could, and this is probably dumb, right? You could move it to the arms.
That's what I was thinking.
Because then it'll be reduced by 1, and then just get rid of your claws.
Yep, no, that is exactly what I was thinking, to be real with you. It's just a matter of, I don't know, like, what her follow-up action is on this, and I don't know if my arms...
It's a chain attack.
Oh, it's a chain attack. You know what, honestly?
Yes.
Then yeah, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna let this go through. My last leg's gonna get blown off, and then I'm gonna transfer the remaining 2 damage to the arm, so it's 1 damage, and then that 1 damage is gonna go to my claw.
Right, in which case, having completely destroyed all of the parts on a location as a result of one of her attacks, her special ability resolves, which is called Surgical Arm.
Oh no.
So, the whip hits your leg, and you're surprised that it doesn't simply, like, follow through. You feel it wrap around with this uncanny, horrible, like animalistic, like an octopus. It just seems to know what to do. It wraps around your leg, and you see this, like, flesh retract, and this wicked-looking blade scythe suddenly at the top of your thigh just slashes into it and cuts your leg off completely. She reels it back and throws it past you, regenerating 2 parts on Godman.
God fucking damn it.
And Godman is the 2 parts that he's going to be regenerating are his rapid movement check, and he's going to use that to immediately move and run the fuck away. You see the leg, by the time it finishes sailing over your head, the tentacle that was wrapped around it has merged into it, detached, and started to essentially despecialize the cells, turning it into a packet of, like, just healing goo. It lands onto Godman's like, remaining pelvis as, like, a singular leg suddenly kind of generates, but then decides, no, that's not the correct shape. And it instead coils into this snake-like sinew that allows him to still move at rapid speed without having to have too much structure beneath it. And Godman, the other thing that he regenerates, let me see. I think he regenerates his eyes, to be real. You see him reel up basically just a head and the barest parts of a rib cage attached to this horrible flesh-like snake body, his eyes filling back in, and they focus down onto all of you. And he just goes, "Gods don't die." And he begins to slither away.
Crawl away like the vermin you are!
You see in the remaining eye that Nisa has, you see, like, she almost wells up a little bit as she realizes she did good. Her friend is gonna survive. And you hear her go, "Ah!" as she goes in for another attack to follow up.
Yep. This still on me?
Yes. You are the undoing of her friend. That is not a hit. She does still have her extra arms intact.
Oh my god, how are they still this healthy?
Oh god, so that's a 3 cost. Is she... No, she's gonna keep it. She needs to be more wise about that. Before we carry on to the next round, I did remind myself of this for a reason. It is the 9 count, which is the normal initiative of the second round, which means, you know, normally I would GM roll a particular aspect of this, but I actually want to be, I instead want to make this a thing that you guys do here. Who would like to roll a d10 for me? And I want, and I will be clear, if you get a 10, it's a good thing.
Rosche.
Okay. Any bonuses at all?
Nope. Flat.
Alrighty. Bingo bongo.
Oh.
No.
Bingo bongo. The rock consumes.
That's a 1, audience. That's a 1.
Now, now, I did say very clearly, 10 is a good thing. It's not 1, things get worse. I did not say that, so...
Yeah. It was just a 10% chance.
But yes, okay. So, with the 10% chance of the mysterious thing not happening, I'll just carry on as normal. So, there is a brief moment where things are simply going to continue as normal before every single one of you, they of Clay, Hyde, Vex, Asura, all of you, this is not something that you can ignore. You know that when an outside influence invades a fight like this, you pay attention. You hear the shattering of glass as you all swing your eyes up to the ceiling where these massive, greenhouse skylights are, and you see glass showering down on you as all of a sudden, following alongside of it, you see this speck incoming, and because you have extra eyes, Hyde, which are still intact, could you please give me a roll with a +2?
Alrighty. 5.
Damn.
Not enough. You, unfortunately, with the haze of combat and the fact that this is such a sudden development, even with your extra eyes, it doesn't give you enough warning. All of you see, it's a grenade. It's landing, let's see. God, where would they fire? It's gonna be where the most bodies are. It's going to Hades.
Yeah.
That is gonna be this is an area attack explosive. Okay, so everybody in that zone, unless we do something about it, is going to be taking that damage. Let me see, what have the enemies got? Because they are going to absolutely do everything in their power to deal with this as well. The only thing that we have is Azul's special, butterfly ability. All that's going to be able to do is that's going to give us a choice between either it going to our arms or our legs, I suppose.
I'd prefer legs.
Right, in which case, I think that is what we will do. The incoming grenade is suddenly intercepted by a swarm of butterflies, which greatly diminishes its inertia. But unfortunately, it seems that this has been fired out of an actual grenade launcher with the speed that it's coming in as it lands, but it skids in rather than detonating midair. And that is going to be 2 explosive damage to everyone's legs in the area. That is just going to be double damage to 4 to the butterflies.
So that's 2 to the legs and 2 to the torso, basically?
2 to the legs and 2 to the torso, yes.
Oh, fucking man.
We're not in a good spot.
Can I regenerate defend 1?
You can, yes, and that would be 1 to each part instead.
Okay, that is much better for me, so I will do that.
Azul is going to use their cracked flesh to reduce, they use their cracked flesh to reduce that damage by 2, thus negating it to themselves. Nisa is not so lucky. She has nothing on her torso, so she gets to pick somewhere else that it goes instead, so that's going to be the arms. The explosion goes off. You see as the hardened, flaky flesh of Azul almost provides several buffering layers of, impact resistance, as when the smoke clears, they are seemingly unharmed. Nisa, however, has chunks blown out of them. Hyde and Vex, how's this going for you?
The fucking instant that it's like, oh, That's a grenade. Raises up their, like, what they can of their arms as effectively from all of the wounds, the blood quickly calcifies and turns into that, like, crystalline material as the shrapnel, like, rips through, and effectively it just sends this, like, glass-shattering sound almost through Hyde as it just, like glistens through the air and is thrown all over.
You all realize that there is a genuine and unfortunate threat that has become part of this combat. They will not be on the map, but they are present on the initiative count. They have spent, that's right, it's spent 4 from 9 to put that to 5, so that it's only happening, like, a couple times per round, but you do now have to consider this as now incoming. Next up, it's Hyde and the Flesh Pillar. The Flesh Pillar is... Actually... I mean, they're just going to keep shooting because they've not been given any orders otherwise, but Hyde, the situation has changed. What would you like to do?
Hyde, immediately after this situation has changed, looks to Azul and Nisa. If we want any of us to survive after this encounter, we need to stop.
Azul, even though they are undamaged, they look to Nisa and see that the butterflies have also been scattered. And they understand that they can't take many more of those. Azul just goes, "We agree. This is no longer productive for either of our groups."
Don't let me tell you what to do. But I'd ask your guy over there to try and bake pot shots up in the air to see if they can't knock it out of their hands.
They don't have that kind of range. They're only designed for mid-range engagements. They can't spit blood that far.
As this is happening, Vex is continuing to just slash at the butterflies around herself. Literally, like, her arms are fucked. One of her legs is, like, just a bone sticking out that she is, like, unbalanced leaning on. And, like, is just slashing around and screaming, not listening to this at all.
Oh shit. Yeah, no, it looks like Vex has other plans, but Hyde, what are you doing?
What I'm doing, frankly, it is no longer conducive to stand here and just keep beating the shit out of Azul and Nisa anymore. And frankly, I think my one option here, just to get us all alive out of this, I can't take anyone with me when I move, right?
No. Well, I would allow it... If somebody is incapable of moving, then I would allow you to spend actions to drag them. And with Asura, if you want, I would allow you to basically spend extra action points to drag Asura with you. But, it is going to be, like, a significantly larger amount of action points.
I think
basically.
right now, right... The best thing for me to do would probably be to regenerate, or like use Feast of Flesh, regenerate a little bit.
Don't worry about dragging me, I still have movement I can do.
Yeah, I'll spend one action. What would be the best thing for me to get back here? Maybe my eyes. That doesn't do anything for me right now, but like...
It is extra protection on your head, though.
That's true. I'll undo my eyes, spend the 1 AP, get my eyes.
Okay. A couple of your eyes are regenerated as you as you snap up some of the discarded and blown apart flesh on the floor. Your snakes happily chomp down on them, and your eyes are once again relocated into their skull. So I will make this clear to you guys. If you want to get out of this situation, you are either going to have to find some way to deal with the people outside, or you're going to have to basically get to Eden, and that includes enemies. Enemies also are going to have to get to Eden in order to escape. At this point, they are not going to fire on you. They are going to be ordered to essentially try to draw fire, and Nisa attempts to basically just put on a show of firing outside in order to hopefully try and get their attention rather than be fired at by you. So it spends an action to shoot, but it's not at any of you guys. It's Azul and Hyde. Azul basically looks to you and just goes, "We can send our butterflies outside. Hopefully their numbers will be able to obscure their vision."
Do it!
they wave their hand, and with a singular motion, all of the butterflies are commanded to start leaving. They will have to move to... Honestly, I think it would make the most sense, considering the grenade came into Hades. I will make Hades the exit point. So they have to move in. They have to go into Hades, and then they can move out, basically. So Azul commands that, but otherwise, I think they are just going to... I think they're just going to do their best to just basically start moving towards the exit. They are trusting you. Whether you repay that trust or not, Asura, is up to you. But Hyde, what are you doing?
Honestly, right, in this situation, I have another 1 AP before they get to act, and using Feast of Flesh is just an action, so I'm going to recover another part. Okay.
So, Nisa, the butterflies, the other guy is just going to keep shooting to try and get attention. The Nisa is also just going to move. And let me double check what her movement stuff is like. Yeah, no, she can't move right now. She doesn't actually have her shoulder even. So I think that Azul is actually going to spend the extra action points. I'm going to call it an extra 2 action points to drag her along. Azul commanding a small contingency of butterflies, as well as just grabbing her. Nisa basically almost slings herself onto Azul's back, almost like some kind of grotesque backpack, as they tenderly move forward. The butterflies in Hades move outside as they begin trying to distract the shooters. So currently we have 5. We have 6, but we have like a multiple of 5 outside, which will contribute a negative. Nisa, I think I am just going to move down by a couple, just because she doesn't really have anything else. So, Hyde, Asura, what are you doing?
There's a moment when Azul, carrying Nisa on their back, walks into this space that Ashura's instincts sort of flare to life. A fire burns in her eyes, where she sees the chance that she could have to strike, take them down, and go all out in this moment. While their guard is down, and as the sort of fury, the battle lust, the heat of the situation courses through her, it's the point where almost that instinct fully takes over, as she reaches an arm forward and slightly towards them. But then, with a clench of her teeth and a swing of an arm and a fist downward, using it as a balance point.
Vex! Get a hold of yourself! Situation's changed!
No, don't let them go! She's like, now that the butterflies have partially dispersed, she is like stumbling desperately after them, scythes drawn.
If you think I'm letting them just go scot-free, you're dead wrong. But we need to get out of here.
We can finish them right now. We can still do this. I'm not gonna fuck up again. I'm a Dredge, damn it!
And so am I, asshole. So is Hyde. We need to live here.
We can fucking kill them. The bastards that did this.
As they're yelling at each other, Hyde, would you allow me to spend the extra AP to try and if like move Vex with me?
I would. I'm gonna guess that Vex doesn't want to be moved, so you'd have to contest if Vex does not want to be moved. Can I confirm?
She does not want to be moved.
Okay, You could attempt to do that, but you would need to make a contested roll.
I'll try.
Okay, both of you make a roll.
As Hyde goes to try and sling an arm around Vex's shoulder to like pick her up onto his like back.
You do have super strength, so you will have your super strength bonus to this.
Oh, okay. I think super strength is just a damage up, which I don't want.
Well, no, that's no. Well, It's applicable to this situation, which is why I'm
okay.
giving you this bonus. So both of you make a roll.
Well, she's going to be making a melee attack, so I'll roll my applicable bonus.
Oh shit. Okay.
Not like a aiming to kill, but like a very much like shoving him away thing.
He like tries to sling the arm around Vex's shoulder, and like in the motion of doing so, before anything is resolved, he's like, succeed the mission we have. They're being driven out. The second that we get out of here is when we succeed. Brimstone could give less of a rat's ass if we just flub a single mission, especially when they're driven out of the Grow Tower either way. Living, dying, three Dredge dying, he's gonna be fucking pissed if that happens. We need to get out.
If we don't kill them now, they'll kill us later. They'll do something else. I have to do this. I'm going to find out who she was. Who she is.
Who are you And then, like, I imagine what happens is Vex, with her one good arm, just slugs Hyde across, like, the face.
She's more just trying to shove him away so that she can maintain her very wobbly balance as she's still trying to go after them. But she's pretty slow. So.
Yeah.
Do I still do the move? I just spend more AP, or is it effectively I use however much AP I'm done now?
Considering that you didn't... I'll just make you spend 1 extra AP for the move, considering that, like, you failed to grab her. But, yeah.
Okay. So, I spend 3, and Hyde was going, like... I mean, with the idea in mind that if he was carrying Vex, he would have gone the other way, but I think right now he's just gonna try and, like, go... lead them a particular way, and that's the Godman way, because he's literally right there, dude. Just like
Godman sees you coming up behind him, and he turns around, and you see him kind of have this animalistic deer in headlights moment with you, seemingly not fully cogent of what's been going on. But he does not have anything to do to attack you, so he just keeps trying to run.
Keep your mouth shut and keep crawling.
Yeah, and with a guttural scream of her own, she just takes the fist that she slammed into the ground earlier, bends that arm, raises it up again, and then wildly slams a set of her arms against the ground as if she's like a frog jumping into a leap, as steam and heat just burst out from the orifices, the holes with which her legs were once connected to, as I'm just gonna move here, turning around to Nisa and Azul, giving them giving them serious, full-on look while she holds a set of her arms out in that direction.
Don't think that you're getting away with this, with nothing, all right? Don't mistake what's going on here.
Azul does not need to turn to look to you to see you, but does so nonetheless, and goes, "We are certain that we will have another engagement." And continues running. Asura, spend your move. Right. So, Vex, it's your turn.
She continues stumbling after Nisa and Azul, but at this point, she isn't so completely lost to the haze that she can't tell what's even going on. She hisses and cusses as she just sees, as she's stumbling after them, she's not fast enough. Even if she could get to them, they're in better shape than she is. She sees the others are moving on. She has to blink back just hot tears a bit that are threatening to stream down her face just from the frustration in this moment. And there's a million things she could say, but she just hisses after them. You try to fuck up this city, you'll be sorry. I'll come for you.
There is another shattering of glass as a grenade lands in Limbo, which you are not technically in yet because it happens simultaneously. This has a -1 because of the butterflies outside.
Oof. So this would be hitting me? And
No, it's Nisa and Azul it's hitting.
Yeah, because it happened on the same count as Vex moving, not
Got
you
it.
moving.
Okay.
So, that is arms. This is bad for them. The grenade detonates. You watch as it sails in slow motion as you're running towards it. You know that with your speed, you won't run into the range of it, but nonetheless, you kind of like divert your path as you watch it detonate. Your adrenaline allowing you to take in every moment of it. I need to check if they have any way. Nope, they've used cracked flesh. They're too far out of range to be able to hinder it. So you watch as Azul, their arms get blown off, almost like just straight up literally blown off, and you see that their stomach starts to pour with viscera as a lot of their entrails are blown apart. Nissa, oh boy, that gets destroyed, and she only has head parts. Oh, she is barely alive.
Oh boy.
The explosion rocks the both of them as you hear a whimper from Nissa, and you can tell if she takes another hit like that, it's over. You see she starts to burble, and this blood combined with various clots, and you think you see some sinew mixed in there, starts to just drip out of her destroyed jaw. Nonetheless, Azul continues. 1, 2, 3, 4. They will have one more grenade before the round ends. Nissa can't do anything. No, wait a minute. Ooh, she has one thing intact that she wasn't using up till now, which is her slurper.
Yeah.
Well, thank God for that.
Yeah, her slurper, baby. She can still slurp real good. But,
Oh, yeah.
oh dear. Yeah, no, she has one last part intact, which allows her to, when she damages somebody, regenerate one of her entrails. In this case, I'm not gonna pay attention to the must attack an enemy thing. Azul, I think, just silently has communicated in the past that, like, Nissa is allowed to do what she must with the butterflies. You watch as Nissa, one of her arms on instinct lashes out into a swarm of butterflies, and they stick to it like fly paper as they are just dissolved en masse as you watch her slightly regenerate. It's not much, and it probably will still mean that she's gonna die, but I mean, she's got to do something, right? This thing is just going... Oh, wait a minute. This thing can actually technically crawl on walls, if I remember correctly. It starts trying to... It moves here, and it's going to start trying to move outside to just provide an extra target.
Fuck him up, Flesh Tower!
Right, so Hyde and the butterflies. The butterflies will once again, these ones move outside, providing yet more negatives. These guys move to here.
Hyde takes a solid moment. He looks back and he sees the situation that's unfolding, clenches his fist, what's left of it at least. He thinks about doing the motion. Azul.
Yes.
Pass me by and pass Nissa to me.
God. I think Azul's gonna trust you. You were going to bat for them. You were the least aggro of everybody, so I think that out of everybody, Azul trusts you, and they just nod.
I'm going to... Because I can't use Spine to hold my initiative anymore, my effective just general action I do to hold my turn is just restoring a basic part, so I'm just going to do that, frankly.
Cool. You do so. Alright, and it's a bunch of fucking people's initiative. Godman leaves. He has escaped.
Oh, thank God. I'll sleep better tonight.
Good.
Thank God, man.
Great.
Yeah.
He didn't even wait for anyone else.
Yeah, he silently slithers away, just cackling to himself, half in fear, half in madness. Right, Azul, with no arms to speak of, a swarm of butterflies, one of the diminutive ones that is remaining on their body, does their best to attempt to help alleviate some of the weight, but you realize quickly, Hyde, that you will have to do the majority of the work here to get him off Azul's back. But Azul, to Nissa, just goes, We will leave you with the trusted one. Nisa looks a little apprehensive for what you can make out from her strange face, and just kind of nods weakly as you take Nisa on your back.
Well, if you don't mind,
yes.
Before this handoff
Vex
happens,
has an action before they move.
Okay.
If you don't mind, before this takes place, when the grenade came down and hit the two of them right after Vex said that, she, like, visibly flinched a bit backwards slightly, just suddenly shocked, snapped back to the moment, just seeing them get hit like that. And she, much to her own surprise, does manage to catch up with them by just continuing to stumble forward as fast as she can. And she looks down at them. I don't know how they would react.
They start to move to go towards Hyde, and once again there is that, like, adrenaline-fueled slow motion in play here. They are not at Hyde yet. They are still with you. Their backs are turned to you.
Vex would just see them like this and then look towards Hyde and Asura.
Hyde is looking back. It feels like on his mind, he's decided that, mission or not, before we decide any further what's going on, it's not honorable or fair, or even if none of that matters, it's not good to sit here and let them rain grenades down upon us, destroy more of the Grow Tower when we could just be getting out of here. And his focus is on Azul and Nisa, but there is a part of him that is looking at Vex.
And meanwhile, from Asura, what Vex would be able to see from her is, it's hard precisely to read exactly how this is aimed. It's wide-eyed, gritted teeth, intense, obviously adrenaline-fueled, just intense fervor, anger, directed at what? Vex, telling her to not do this, reprimanding her. Azul and Nisa for everything they've done. Hyde for somehow convincing her to not immediately blow these guys to Kingdom Come. All three, something else. It's hard to tell precisely where her anger is directed at, but it's clear that in this moment she is in go mode, and at least for now, she is just alert. And it is hard to precisely gauge past that.
She stumbles forwards towards Azul and Nisa and growls a bit, but sheathes her scythes and just angrily shoves them towards Hyde so that he can grab Nisa and continue on.
In which case, Hyde, Asura, you may move again. Hyde, you may take Nisa with you.
Yep, and Vex, you get the idea that no matter your decision, Hyde wouldn't have judged you, but for the one you made, one of their eyes gleams with just a little bit more respect for you.
She's just glaring forward, just now angry, sure, but still just very much in the we need to get out of here, survive mode.
This won't be comfortable. Use whatever you have to hang on, I guess. And Hyde just fucking bolts.
Yeah, you can move straight out, can't you, with your animal legs?
Got two speed. Hyde's the fucking mega fast.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, in the same way that Vex is in, has fully gone into that survival running mode, Asura, in the same way, just off of a wall, kind of takes a set of her arms, pushes herself off of it, and then fires 2 plasma shots backwards to propel herself closer to the exit.
Azul once more, fortunately, still has movement options, and they continue moving. Now, here's an interesting situation. Hey, Vex. So these grenades can't fire into Eden.
No.
And you're the only target who was lagging behind because of your bloodthirst. We're going to make a roll here. This has minuses. This is a -3. But if this goes poorly... well, we'll see. You are safe.
Okay.
The grenade... oh, you know what? I know how I want to flavor this, actually. Yeah, okay, you know what? I'm doing this. It's too good of opportunity.
Let me tell you guys, you don't know why, but I have never been so 100% sure I'm about to get crit 10 as I was in that moment.
I was feeling
it. It felt like one of those moments where it has to happen to me again. It has to, but I'm good.
Yeah.
You keep running, Vex, and as you keep going, you hear another glass pane shatter. But it's strange. There was kind of like an even spacing between the first two, right? And you're expecting it on that same even pacing. You imagine they're not going to be letting up, right? But there's a pause before it comes in this time. And you hear the sailing of the grenade through the air before it lands way off to your right. But that isn't right. That's way too big to be a grenade. And you look at it, your eyes being instinctually drawn to look at this anomaly, and you see it isn't a grenade. It's a severed head. And one of its eyes is replaced with a scope, cybernetically. And there seems to be a note written in some kind of marker on their face covering. And it just says, "Sorry I'm late. Love, no soul."
Vex just turns and keeps walking out.